from 1975. It's midnight, the witching hour. Issue number 55. Oh, I love this. Just look at the artwork first off. One of the best covers I've seen DC horror, in terms of DC horror 70s. So this is mid-70s. The tagline for this is "Kiss the boys and make them die." She's bringing her boyfriend home to meet her dead parents. So 3 stories. It does live up to the hype. You actually get to see this scene. Story wasn't as... This ended up being the worst out of the 3, I'd have to say. So it's the first one. And I'm going to pretty much tell spoilers because comics are hard to get a hold of anyway, and there's no point in doing this review without talking about the whole plot and everything. So, first story. She has been dating guys, and every guy she dates has been missing. And then the third guy she's about to date is a cop. And there ends up being an investigation, and he kind of forces her to take her home and questions her, and then they find out that she's pretty psychotic, and she ends up whipping a knife out on him. And the cops bust in, and they see the morbid scene of the father and the mother and their skeletons propped up in their favorite chairs. The artwork isn't that detailed for the ending, and that's kind of like the twist ending, even though everyone knows it's coming. So that's the first story. I'd give it a B-. Second story, this rich young guy ends up getting mutilated in an airplane crash, and he shows up back at his mansion, and the butler there and his servants are surprised that he's in perfect condition. He reports that, and he comes home with a new mistress, and his new mistress ends up being an old hag. This witch crone who, she put a hex on him who put a charm on him to reanimate his body back to normal. And that's the thing, and then she ends up being fastidious to the servants, and they get fed up. They want to kill her. They all end up getting fired. And then his trustworthy Alfred type of butler ends up actually killing her late one night when he sees her practicing or praying to the devil. And then, of course, that just immediately ends the charm that she put on him, and he becomes decayed and Skeletor within a matter of moments for the ending. Not that gory. This next one can be pretty gory, though. The third one. Okay, this guy working at the mortician's office, this is a good tale of horror. This John Doe comes in, and he finds a letter, and he finds out that this guy was going to meet this woman who's about to inherit $100,000. So he takes over the dead guy's identity, shows up to this random, really old and creepy, great artwork, Uncle Fester, Addams Family type of house, cobwebs, really old. And she has a family of maniacs, essentially, and he's kind of creeped out by the whole thing, and they give him a check, and he's going there for the money, and he thought it was the beautiful girl he's ever seen in the picture. So it isn't as predictable as you may think. The unholy matrimony commences, and when he undoes her veil for the kissing of the bride, she's dead. Like, she died that morning, so it's not her skeleton and skull. It's not that bad. But what happens? Thank you, stupid idiot. they're like, oh, well, these are our rights. This is our creed from Satan. So she died. So you got to take this poison and die with her and live forevermore. And he pieces out, and they're like, well, it's going to stay with him, and that is his faith by the hand of the devil. So he ends up getting bit by a snake, and he thinks he's getting poisoned. And he finds an old rusty razor blade, and they actually show the gore to try and cut it out. Then it ends up dying. His body ends up back at the morgue, the same morgue that he worked at. And they're like, he died from this razor blade. How uncanny. I'm out.